Hello and welcome to Gamersledge Podcast. Come on in, sit down and relax. Have yourself a beverage of your choice. My name is Mark. I am one of the hosts of Gamersledge Podcast. And joining me tonight, of course, is the man, the myth, the legend, the principal himself, Matt. Hi, Matt. Why can't I hear you, Matt? Did you mute yourself?
That would be exactly...
Yeah, suddenly my internet is sucking up too, because you're breaking up, the thing's breaking up, it's like all crazy. Yay! The internet. Hooray for internet network technology. We have a lot to discuss tonight. We'll look at a couple different things, but let's start off as we always do. Matt, what have you been up to since last week?
Pretty light list this time around. My family started playing Rock Band 4 again, so logged a fair number of hours into that over the weekend. Managing to play through some of the rival stuff. Bought about $60 worth of DLC since we quit till now of stuff that was pretty good. And then played through a bunch of stuff. This last week was everything that's been released since Rock Band 4 launched, so we had a large number of songs available to play. And then I'm sure one of the things you'll talk about, we did the Crew 2, beta for a while there on, was that Saturday?
That was...
And then, and then Rise of the Tomb Raider. Playing that. I feel like I'm getting close to the end, but the percentage count tells me it's only like 52%. So apparently this game has a really long tail. It's good. I'm enjoying it. There's a plot element that I wish they would just tell us, because I've known since I met that character that that's who he is, and they just keep dragging it on that they're not going to tell you who he is, and it's just getting annoying at this point.
Spoilers. It's Nathan Drake.
Yeah, it's Nathan Drake, exactly. But yeah, otherwise... tonight is the 2-part season finale of the Expanse. So that's definitely looking forward to getting that watched. Probably not tonight because I have to be up stupid o'clock again tomorrow for training event. Bleh.
We'll have to wait until the whole season's on Expanse and then another 6 months like normal before we can watch it again.
Yeah. But then you'll be able to watch it, real time for the next season, so...
I'm quite
hopefully hopefully it survives the transition. I mean, that's always a scary thing when
I don't
things
think
transition networks.
I mean, they said they retained almost everybody, so I expect it to be exactly as good as it's been.
Yeah. And that's really been about it. Haven't made it out to see any movies. Obviously, we got Ant-Man and the Wasp coming up. And then we've got Incredibles 2 out that we haven't gotten to. So those are two that maybe over the 4th of July time frame will manage to sneak in.
I would prioritize Incredibles 2 if I were you.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
Alrighty. I will...
have we talked about this? Maybe we didn't talk about this.
I don't think so. I don't recall talking about it. Yeah,
I'll add that.
Yeah, I have a very, very high pedestal that The Incredibles lives on. So the sequel has been kind of one of those. Yeah, it'll probably be fine, but it might be Cars 3, but it could be good. But so yeah, I've not pushed the envelope on getting out to see that one. It's probably just self-preservation. Other than that, Mitchell decided he wanted to try to run a D&D game, so we've been trying to get stuff set up for that. Spoiler alert, it takes a long time and is hard. So if we get a single round in before the summer break is over, it'll probably be impressive.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, I did get a good chunk of comic books.
Hold on. You stop moving.
I didn't stop moving.
There you go. You caught up.
Hold on for one more day. Okay, so yeah, I did a number of comics caught up, but I'm not done. And then I found out that this week the store didn't get the copies of the Century #1 that just launched this week. So now I got to go figure out how to hound that down. So fun with comics.
Absolutely. Well, let's see. I have a slew of stuff on my title. So first, let's start with what I inadvertently started playing for almost all of last week, which was XCOM 2, which was a PlayStation Plus game. What happened, I'm trying to think of why I started. I was killing time, and I can't remember why. I think
that's not a game. That's a suck the soul out of your life game.
No, it's a killing time game, and because I love those types of games. Let me tell you that I love what they have done with the progression system, with the combat system. I like every change that they have made except one. And that is now almost every freaking mission has a timer counter on it. Like, you have to do it within 8 turns or less. And if you don't extract everyone at the extraction point, then the aliens get them. And I'm telling you, I had this grizzled, amazing commando troop that I had put together, that almost all of them had existed since day one in my game. And I'm getting, I would say, like probably 50% through the game. And I went to a mission that was supposed to be difficult but not impossible, and when I did the mission, nope, just like it gave me 8 turns to make it across the map, knock out a VIP and take them, and they kept throwing units, like calling in more reserve units on the way. It was impossible. I couldn't get it done. I think I finally got it done, and I lost like one of my favorite characters that I had built up over time, and so I was like, nope, restart. I'll figure this out somehow else. So I don't know. I just can't seem to pass it, and I don't like the. I mean, it's good that it gives me an impetus to move across the maps, but it takes away a lot of the tactical fun that I like about XCOM 2. So I was a little disappointed in it, but I mean, the rest of it is amazing. No complaints for the rest of it. Animation seems a little choppy for some reason, like it wasn't optimized for the PS4 or something. But beyond that, it's okay.
So now, just tell me if I'm going insane or not. But this is a reboot franchise, right? Because this is XCOM 2, and there's XCOM 1 that came out a while back, and then there's the 2 that had names beneath them, which are like a sub,
which were the original
story.
Names. Yeah.
Wasn't the original one like way back, like DOS? Okay, so that's what's no. I'm saying like so XCOM 1 that this is the XCOM 2 to is the reboot or restart size a la Wolfenstein, right? Yeah. And then enemies within, and the other one are kind of like side stories or something.
They're expansions. Yeah. Because the latest one is something Crusade or something. I don't remember what the newest one is for XCOM 2, but it basically adds units and changes how you play the game. It's like an expansion that gives you alternate rules to the game. It's fine. But I like just the straight. I'm frustrated because on the PC they obviously have mods, and they have mods to remove that timer thing because it's a bunch of crap.
That would be annoying.
It's kind of really frustrating. That's the only complaint I have about it, is sometimes they don't give you enough time. That's it. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. I've been playing it a lot. I played more Beat Saber because you can never get. I'm telling you, Matt, you have a PSVR. Beat Saber was announced, and they have a trailer for it on PSVR, and it looks great. I mean, the sad part is you're not going to be able to mod new songs in, so I don't know what they're going to do about that, because right now there's only 10 songs. But, that being said, those 10 songs are really, really good, and you have to be like a Jedi Master in order to beat them on Expert, so it doesn't really matter, I think. I think you will get your household will get great amounts of enjoyment from it. So that seems like an easy one. I've been playing the hell out of Jurassic World Alive. This thing has now eclipsed like any passion I ever had for Pokemon Go. It's basically, it works a little different in that the Pokestops are, I don't know, for here it seems like it's bus stops, but all of the events happen in parks, and I have so many parks in the city of San Francisco that I can walk about a quarter mile from the house, and there's a park that is so big it has 3 of the event things in it. Normally you have to go from park to park, but here I can just go to this one park, walk around the park, and get all the stuff at once, because you usually have 3 tries to get the whatever the event dinosaur of the day is. And so this week it's been Blue, Echo, Delta, all the raptors that were in Jurassic World, and raptors are the king of the Fight Club right now. So, sounds weird, but they have such powerful and they're so fast attacks that they can take down a T-Rex in 2 turns, which is the most powerful thing in the game. So if you have an appropriate level, the Velociraptors are just vicious monsters, killing machine monsters.
Is this Niantic too, or is this a different company?
It is not. It is a different company. Okay. And I'm not going to lie, it's got more pay-to-win things in it. But I usually just ignore those. The only ones that I have actually spent money on, I have spent a little money, because I love the game and I'm playing it, is they offer these really, really good deals when you level up. Because there's an overall trainer level based on how many dinosaurs you collect and then create and evolve, and then eventually you can start doing things called fusions, where you have the DNA from 2 different dinosaurs and you combine them in a petri dish to make this new dinosaur, which is how they made like the Indominus Rex or whatever, which is the Velociraptor and the T-Rex. You combine them together, so you can make stuff like that, and you get level up, and the level up for the trainer actually affects a bunch of stuff. And the biggest one that it affects is as you have a drone. So unlike Pokemon Go, when you go out into the field and try and catch a dinosaur, you don't throw a Pokeball at it. What happens is you have a drone and a target on the dinosaur, and if you bullseye it, when you start at level 1, you get 10 DNA for that bullseye. And so you have like a battery on the drone, and the battery runs out from the first time you let go and shoot the dart. And the goal is to collect as much DNA in the battery lifespan as possible. Well, I'm now level 7, and so I get 17 DNA per dart for a common, and for rares and elites, it's 12. When you start with at just level 1 for a rare and elite, you're getting like 6. So it's much easier for me to catch higher end dinosaur stuff now that I've leveled up than it was back then. And those like one-time offers that they offer every time you level up, that got me a lot of the dino DNA that I could use to battle that I wouldn't have ever otherwise been able to catch. So I think that's the one pay thing that I might recommend. You don't have to do it. You can still play the game without it. I just recommend that you figure out some kind of route that you do every day to refill on darts and stuff at the Pokestops, because they don't really have a name for them. Supply drops, I think, is what they call them. I still call them Pokestops. It's the same damn thing. Being attacked by a wild dinosaur back here.
So is this basically Digimon? Do you just have to collect enough DNA until you can hatch an egg, and then you DNA digivolve them by So your digital dinosaurs are literally digital monsters.
Yes, they are. But rather than evolve them, you don't evolve them. Well, you do evolve them. How do I explain
By
that?
mixing them.
No,
Well, by
no, no,
mixing the
no,
DNA.
no. You evolve them. That's the term in the game, but it's basically just leveling them up. And so you level them up, and once you get them to a certain point, which is usually level 10, at that point they become eligible for fusion with other dinosaurs. And when you do that, you don't have to collect more DNA. It just, well, you do eventually, but for the initial fusion, it will take the dino DNA you have, but it doesn't spend it. I don't know how to explain it very well. That's right. But the basic gist is you have dinosaur A and dinosaur B. And once they hit level 10, then you can press a button and it will take a random amount of DNA from each, even though you may not have DNA to spend on each, and fuse them in to create this new dinosaur. Then when you hit 100 of that dinosaur, you can actually create it, like egg style, create it, and it becomes a member of your team. And you can have a team to battle with of up to 8 dinosaurs. And only 4 fight at a time, so it's randomly picked out of your pool of 8 what your team will be. So you can't ever really guarantee that you're going to have 4 velociraptors, as an example, because there's only 4 in the game. No, 5, 6 in the game. But you can come close to it. But the point is, you're going to need something to counter other people's velociraptors. So there's strategy in it. You don't have to battle if you don't want to. You could just go around collecting the dino DNA all the time. You get rewards from battling, so that's nice. You don't lose any. It's very much unlike Pokemon. If your dinos lose a battle, they're not KO'd, they're not knocked out, they don't need to be healed or anything. You can just go on and battle again with no penalty whatsoever. So battling is like kind of there if you want to do it, and you want to get extra rewards and extra coins, then you can do that. But you don't have to. And that's it. But I've been playing the hell out of it. Like, literally on this weekend, I did something that I've only done for Pokemon Go. I left the house specifically to play this game. Like, I didn't have any... I went and I rode the trolleys through the city, the cable cars, down and back, just to collect all the Pokestops so I could get all the darts. And then I walked a quarter mile to the place to collect all the special event dinos. I walked to AMC to get them. So that's one of the other things is they have paid promotions with certain stores. Like you can go to Walmart and get meh drops, but you can go to AMC for the next, I think, 3 or 4 days, and you get a super mega epic King Kamehameha package that costs you nothing, and it's like the best stuff in the game in those drops. Wow. So I'd highly recommend that if you're thinking about playing it, go to any AMC and get the canister. You can only get it once per account, but it's freaking amazing for the game, and it really helps out with your stable. I spent way more time talking about that than I was planning to. Sorry.
Well, I asked questions too. So.
Well, and I like I said, it's really, really fun game. I'm really enjoying it. It is kind of one of those, it's slow at the beginning, so you kind of got to get over the hump of making it to level 5 or 6, and then suddenly it becomes a lot easier. Also played a game that was out on the PS4, actually, and it's also out on PSVR, and I wanted to talk about it because I finally broke down. The wife said, I really want to buy this, can we get it? And I said, okay, sure, let's try it. And so I'm going to put the trailer for it up here in the background on mute so we don't get a DMCA takedown as usual. Let me see if I can find it. That demo is totally not it. YouTube.com. Did you play it in VR or did you play the normal one? Okay.
I only knew it was. I didn't even know that there was a non-VR. I believe
that there is a non-VR version. I could be wrong, but I picked this up on the Vive. It was on the Steam sale, which you gotta love the Steam sale. Moss VR.
Valve loves the Steam sale because they sell you billions of dollars of software that you never use.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, here we go.
I didn't realize Moss was on anything besides PSVR.
Yeah, it just came to. What am I trying to say? Vive,
Oculus,
and
right,
I believe, I believe Oculus. So this is the thing. Like looking at this, yeah, it's pretty, right? This looks pretty, and when they show the gameplay here in a minute, it looks cute and it looks very good. But what this flat image does not display or convey
the diorama
shape, or form. It's so good. Like you are inside this really intricate, crafted world that is like you are looking inside the side of a box. And I don't know how to explain it exactly, but what I see when I play this game is the future of miniatures wargaming.
Yeah.
Because that's literally what it looks like. It looks like you're on a table and you're looking at this really immense, lush, beautifully built train set, if you will.
Yeah. It's very much like a diorama. That's when I was playing the demo. That's what just kept on entering my head. It's like you're in this diorama that you just are in the side of. And yeah.
I think what bothers me is that you can't convey or explain that by looking at this trailer. This trailer is not representative of the gameplay. I mean, it is. It is exactly the gameplay. There's nothing misleading here. It's just that the scale and the scope of how it's set up does not do it justice at all. It's actually better than it looks in this trailer. I really think it's actually so. Matt, as you know, we have the newbie gauntlet for VR when people come over. This is actually now included in the newbie gauntlet. It is that.
It is, and the beginning of the game, assuming that's what the demo is the beginning of the game. I mean, it's very approachable.
Yes.
I mean, it's not complicated at all. I mean, it seems like it might be because you're actually playing two characters. You're playing the ghost and you're playing the mouse, whose name is not Moss, but I'm forgetting what her name is.
Yeah. I don't remember.
I can't remember right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really is impressive, and I've been tempted to get it. The only reason I don't is because my PSVR hasn't come out of its hiding place in a good while. So,
which is sad, I might add.
I know, it's just.
I think once Beat Saber drops, you're gonna have a complete different take on that, because Beat Saber is ridiculously fun. It's Rock Band with lightsabers, Matt. You can't resist that.
I know. I know, yeah, it's gonna be a thing. It's gonna happen, yeah.
I was trying to jump to the. Oh, it's finally going to the gameplay, but yeah, I definitely think it's one of those strange. Again, it's one of those instances that you can use words to try to describe what's going on. But even looking at this, which is directly through the headset, you don't get everything that's on the sides. You don't get... This is just like a slice that's flattened, and there's no way to explain the depth of it. But it's fantastic. I absolutely...
Yeah, it's like looking at the picture of the Grand Canyon versus being there.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy. So there's that. So there's Moss. And then... The other thing that I wanted to quickly promote on here is another thing that we found on the Steam sale. One of the problems that has plagued my wife and I for a long time is that it's not just the PS4, but even on the PC, there is a severe lack of couch co-op games that are good.
Right.
And I don't remember how this came up. It wasn't in one of my curated things, but somehow I ended up finding I came across this game called For the King. And probably should have done the trailer, but that's okay. Well, I can set one of these on. That's fine in the background with no sound.
What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcastle for the first.
No.
Every intro to every play along.
What's up, everybody? I know. I do it too. So this is a roguelike JRPG that's hex-based that is actually co-op on the computer. Native controller support, so you just plug your PS4 controllers in, and you can both play. And the interesting thing to me is apparently when it first came out, it was really, really difficult, like to the point that a lot of people were saying, I absolutely love this game, but it's just ridiculously too hard. And so apparently now it's not as hard as it was, or you have options for that. So we picked the easiest. But basically you set your skills and stats at the beginning, which are mostly based off of the character class that you pick. And every turn you roll the number of spaces you can move, and as you move throughout the map, things will pop up. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But you may have to fight somebody. You may find a shrine that you can devote yourself to, which will give you a permanent bonus in the game. There's loot drops, and each of them, I mean, it works pretty much just like any other JRPG. But again, each person moves on their own. And so you do have this kind of risk-reward of staying close to each other versus spreading out. Because if you spread out a lot, you might not be able to be involved in somebody else's combat to help them. But are they ever going to move? Jeez, I'm kind of sad that I picked a Let's Play where they don't do anything. Come on now. But yeah, the basic idea is you get movement tokens. And one of the interesting things is if you've ever played White Wolf, there is a concept that you can spend. I'm trying to remember the mechanic. It's like fate points in Shadowrun, but the quick idea is you're making dice rolls for everything, right? So you can you have a limited, in this game you have a limited amount of what they call fate. So here I can see the second player, Amaranth. She's got 3 fate points right now, and she has all 3 available right now. So as she makes this sneak check or ambush check, she can choose to use one of these for an automatic success. Now, that being said, once you use a fate point, it's gone until either you rest at an inn or you do something to replenish them. You'll get armor and gear that gives you more fate points, potential fate points, etc. So it's kind of an interesting system. So you can see, for example, on the right here, this person, if they are going for the success, they only have a 14% chance based on their stats that they're going to roll 3 successes. So they could use those 3 dice to offset and give them automatic successes. See, and now it's changing to 100 if they used all 3. So again, it's kind of a risk reward. If I burn all those now, I won't have them later. But then we go into combat, and it's standard RPG combat. I can see that if my archer is going to take a shot, they've got a 78% chance of success. If they do another option, they have less based on what it does. And then same for like the bard. The bard has a straight up I'm going to whoop your ass attack, but then they also have a I'm going to do splash damage to everyone in a row around you attack for less damage, but nobody else can do that. So each class has its own little characteristics. The spells that you get are based on your class instruments or weapons, and so the better weapons you get, the more options you have. And it's really kind of a, I don't want to say it's simple because it's not, but it's very tactical. It's a lot of fun, and it's like $14.99. And it's a great couch co-op game. It's the first couch co-op game that my wife has really, really got, the first video game that she's really gotten into. And it's a fun little game, and you can play co-op, so that's kind of cool. And it will support up to 3 PS3, PS4 controllers or Xbox controllers plugged in. You just plug and play and go. It's pretty slick. So it's called For the King. One-man development team, I believe. Which is crazy. But also awesome. So yeah, that's For the King. Played that and... What's that?
I was just saying, there's a lot more of that one-man development or one-person development thing going on than you would ever imagine could be possible.
Yep. And then on the watched front, we caught up with all of the MasterChef. This whole thing about watching terrestrial TV is messing with me because we sat down to do a marathon of MasterChef and we ran out because I forgot that it only airs once a week and they don't release the whole season at once. And so we sat down, we were going to do like 7 of them and we made it through 2 and there was no more. And I'm like, oh, right. Forgot about that. There's no, the whole season's not released yet. So, yeah, hooray. So there was that. And then we also saw Incredibles 2 launch night. How do I put this? I would give the movie a 9.75. That's the short answer. There are a couple plot holes that usually Pixar is good about stomping out. They're not anything that kills the movie or really affects the movie in any way, if you think about it. But a really good movie, a really well done movie. The short before it, well, we did talk about this. The short before it is called Bow and is like one of the best short animated films I've ever seen in my life. It had the audience crying and laughing hysterically all within the span of 6 minutes. I think we did talk about this. So yeah, go watch Incredibles 2.
All right.
You forgot. I remembered. I'm having deja vu talking about it again.
I'm still forgetting. You may have talked to Dave because I may have said go away. I don't want to talk about it.
No, this was on the podcast. On the podcast like 2 weeks ago. We did talk about it. Or last week, one of the two. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super good.
That was attached to the brain cell attached to this hair that I just lost. That's what it was.
Oh, sad. Is there anything else? No, I don't think there's anything else. Oh yeah, The Crew 2. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
So you and I played in the beta, and then directly after that, the game actually launched to gold, premium version, pre-order people like me, and so it launched Monday night at 9 p.m. Here we are Wednesday. Of course.
And you've done everything 20 times over already.
So actually, I was just going to go there. We are in the end game already. We have not done everything. We have not done anything. And actually, they did something very smart for the end game. So how do I explain this? So first of all, we have done almost all of the races. That is done and out of the way. So for every discipline there's a ton of multiple disciplines. There's cars, there's boats, but then there's multiple disciplines within those subsets. So for example, for cars, there's street racing, there's drifting, there is that background noise? Or are you guys having a party?
Can you hear that?
Oh, yeah, super loud. Sorry.
Really? That's like all the way on the other side of the house. Hold on.
Oh, no problem. So there's multiple disciplines. There's street racing. There's drifting. There is cross-country rallies. There's motocross rallies. There's BMX motocross. There are, you name it, they have it. acrobatic plane maneuvers. There's plane racing. So monster trucks. Well, mini monster trucks, but still monster trucks nonetheless. By the way, that monster truck stuff, I don't need a new Skate. Because that's exactly what they're doing. It's Skate with monster trucks. It's kind of crazy.
Okay.
Anyways, we've done almost all the races, is my point. But the interesting thing is when you go, they had bosses in the original one, and you would get with your crew to take the bosses down. In this game, it's solo, so it's a solo one-on-one, you versus the boss, but it goes across multiple disciplines, which means that you don't need to just go back and max out your street racing. You actually have to max out the parts on your vehicles for your street racing, for your drifting, for your, all the different disciplines, so that you can keep up with the boss in the one-on-one race across those different disciplines. So we had concentrated on certain things, like street racing was a big one for us. And I still don't have a maxed out car in street racing just yet. But the point is, I'm going to have to go back and do more races to max out not just my street racing car, but also the motocross or whatever that is, whatever the disciplines are in the boss section that you're doing. So it's going to take more time there. So that's smart, number one, for endgame for them. But number two in endgame is basically you're ranked by a popularity by social media followers. The end level is called Icon. That's the highest level you get. There are 9,999 levels of Icon. And this is smart because every level of Icon gives you a point in one of 4 disciplines that are permanent stat upgrades. So, for example, in the comfort discipline, I could make a choice of raising my total number of social media followers that I get by 0.1%. I could choose to make my nitrous, I have a bigger nitrous pool by 0.1%. I can choose to have my nitrous recharge at 0.1% faster. And and it's basically this really tough decision that you have to make of where am I going to put these points to increase my stats. And 0.1 isn't a lot, sure, but by the time you get to 9,999, some of them you can only max 27 times. So you have this decision tree of where am I going to put these points. But what's brilliant is that at any point in time you can hit square and reallocate them for no cost. So if I'm doing some insane drift thing, which I suck at drift, I could then take all of my Icon points and bury them into the drift stuff to make me better at drift. Or I could pull them out and put them in motocross, BMX motocross, because I need better balance recovery as I'm doing the sharp turns and whatnot. And I want to supplement my nitrous or something like that. So you've got this kind of... It's almost like the Diablo system. The prestige class thing in Diablo where you can start to really super max your character out. That's exactly what they've done here. It's really smart. And it means I'm going to keep playing because I want to max out all of those points. And as you get to certain landmarks in the hero point or in the Icon point status, you unlock these super vehicles that you can't even buy. So when I get to Icon 100, I'm going to get a car that I can't buy any other way. That's supposed to be amazing for street racing, etc., etc. So it's kind of like there's always something to be striving for and reaching for, and that should last a good long time as they roll out these monthly content updates, which leads to the quarterly updates that add new features and new disciplines. So I'm actually kind of really... I think that if you were playing the game alone, you'd be bored a little bit, and you could kind of feel empty and aimless. But since I am doing this with a crew, it's a whole lot of fun. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, it is definitely a game that rewards you for playing with friends as opposed to playing it solo. I suck at any race the first time I do it, and I only get good at it after repeating it 3 or 4 times. Whereas Ken, the guy that I roll with, he is great at first time races and usually ends up carrying the team. The other thing that they have done that is going to be a huge time sink, not just for me but for Ken, as an example, and I got to put this up so that you can see it, Matt. I think you'll have to mouse over my my thing. I just got to find it. Give me 1 second. What did I do with it? Oh, Ken spent all day in the livery maker. So there is a livery editor where you can create whatever you want. He made this whole thing from scratch today. Did not copy anything from anyone. Check this out. It's the new... Oh. Hold on. I just realized it dimmed because I have not used... There we go. So he made a Gamersledge livery that is totally all Mario based.
Yeah.
He had to make all of that. Like, there's none of that. None of those assets are in the game. He made all of it, and he made it for, multiple. Oh, that one's not good. But on the front, he put a Mario, Luigi, and controllers and stars. On the back, more level stuff, and Gamersledge.com on the other side. So we're all gonna roll in the crew with that, so that's cool, and it'll be shared online, so you guys can participate if you want. But we've seen some just crazy liveries that were done in the beta because people didn't realize that their stuff was going to get wiped in the beta, which is sad.
Right.
Where is? I'm looking for the controller because now I'm on the PlayStation. I can't see you anymore. There we go. Bam. So now I can turn that off. But yeah, that's kind of the idea is you can create these really complicated liveries. In fact, let me see if I can find the one that I was looking at. Somebody made a SpongeBob one. It took them, I think they said 3,000 layers to make. Let's see. Crew to... Why is it not typing? Crew to livery SpongeBob. Yeah, this has it. This is some insanity. Oh, is it not gonna... Oh, there we go. Can you see this?
Yeah.
I mean, just the back alone. Someone made that in the beta and then realized that his work was going to get wiped out. And nothing you can do about it at that point.
Dang.
But seriously, that's some insanity level of creativity. I had mine in the beta decked out like the Batmobile because someone had already made skins that basically gave you the Batmobile. It's kind of hilarious. So yeah, I mean, people are super creative, and you can spend all day doing this stuff. It's crazy. But I definitely recommend, as far as would I recommend you spend your money and time on it? The short answer is it really depends whether or not you like arcade racers. If you like, there is a slider to make it more simmy. So if that's what you want, it is possible to do that, but I'm not sure why you'd want to do that. It is at its heart an arcade racer, and if you enjoy arcade racers and you enjoy playing with other people, which I would highly recommend you do, specifically friends, this is a good game for you. If you are somebody who likes to play games alone, like Matt, he hates people, get off his lawn. I'm not sure. Then it really depends. How much do you love racing games? Because if you love racing games, then you'll love this game. It's got every possible, imaginable, drivable object, practically, that you can do for a race. And different types of races. But It's weird because in some ways it's like this giant step forward from the Crew 1, but in a lot of ways it feels like a couple steps back because I think they're not done with it. And I think it will be one of those games that will look dramatically different 2 years in than it does right now. They've got this DLC rollout. PvP is coming in winter of this year, right? So the game's going to look a lot different than when you're actually able to matchmake with other people or drive up to other people and immediately start a race between them, and set where it's going to and all those different types of things. So I think the game's going to look kind of dramatically different than it does now. On the whole, if I was going to give it a score, if I was going to give it a review score right now, I would say it's probably at a 7.5 out of 10 for me. It's good. I enjoy it. It's by no means perfection. I think it's a little, like, especially in the rural areas, it's kind of like there's nothing out there. And unless you're doing stuff just to screw around, there's no reason to, if that makes sense. I will also say that one of my favorite things to do is go into first-person mode on a BMX motocross bike and just drive up the side of a mountain. The game is beautiful. It has a photo mode that would make Dave cry because you can set everything from time of day to light mode to weather to anything, and you've got full 360-degree control over the camera. You can frame your shots. It's absolutely phenomenal. There's even a video editor in it, which is crazy. A full video editor that you can then upload those clips if you want to. So it's weird because it's almost like they tried to make something for everyone. For every kind of racing fan, it's in there. And I think they spread themselves a little thin on the content for each of those things. Like, for example, the zip boats, the flat bottom boats that have jets attached to the back of them. They're really good races and stuff, but there's far less of that content than there are other things. And same with the monster trucks. There's a lot less content there. And you can't even do the thing that you would think you'd do with the monster truck, which is, crush cars or whatever. They don't have any of that. They just have tricks and racing. And that's fine. Right. But you do that and you feel like that content was a little less developed than, say, the street racing, which has a billion races and is interesting. I don't know.
So now, I have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
The game hasn't even officially launched yet, right? I mean, the full public release hasn't happened
Public release
yet.
is Friday, yes.
You're 2 days into this game, and you've already finished the game, if you want to use that as a term. I understand there's stuff, but this is 2 days in.
But I will also remind you that
are you going to make it? Yeah, but are you going to make it? You are with an entire crew of people, and you guys can't be the only crew doing this. Are you going to make it to the first monthly drop?
Yes, I think so. No, I'm not saying that we're going to... How do I explain this? First of all, I am not normal in that I will spend easily 8 hours in a play session. That is not normal. You do that, but not often, right? You do like an hour here and an hour there and put together maybe 3 or 4 hours. But I don't think that I am typical. I'm a typical player in that respect, in that I am trying...
But isn't this the same problem that Destiny and Destiny 2 had, is that there were a bunch of people like you and you all burned through everything so fast that...
I'm not disagreeing with you in that I see that for hardcore players, there may be a bit of a thing to do problem, however, one of the things that this game affords that Destiny does not is a make-your-own-game kind of attitude. I can't tell you the number of times that, as an example, Ken and I will be doing races, and then we get our parts at the end of a race, and then Ken's like, hold on, my radar is beeping. And then it becomes, we have to go find that drop that's in the world and find the loot box that's beeping on our radar. And then suddenly, we're on the edge of the salt flats in the desert. And it becomes, hey, we just bought that new F1 car. Let's see how fast we can get it and break each other's speed records. And then it becomes, oh my god, there's a dune over here. Let's see how far we can ramp the F1 car at 300 miles an hour to see, how far we can get. Or suddenly it'll be like, hey, let's go drive in the snow in Yellowstone. It becomes one of these weird things where we stop playing the game that the devs made, and we end up doing these weird-ass things off on our own that have nothing to do with the formal game itself. And I actually, normally I think I would be upset that I'm not doing the formal game stuff, but because I know that all there is to do is kind of grind left, I'm okay with this. There's more, I know there's more stuff coming in a month, and yes, there may be a small gap in there where we're not playing it until that stuff drops in a month, but at this point, I think we're okay, because there's still so much to do in the icon category, and because we're going to have to grind those parts out to do the boss battles and the real TV races and that stuff, where it goes across multiple disciplines. I think we're gonna have enough to do for a while. The question becomes, will there be enough content in the monthly drops to keep us staying? Or is it going to be one of those things where we drop it for a while and come back, which, as we all know in this day and age, the coming back part is the part that's hard. So I don't know. I feel optimistic at this point.
Are the monthly and quarterlies free for all, or is that part of your special gold bond powder access?
No, there is. Okay. So there are monthly vehicles, if I remember right, and basically the deal is for gold season pass holders. Let me put it up on the screen because it's easier to explain. Google.com. The crew... Man, why doesn't it like typing there? The crew 2 season or gold... edition content. I choose you, Pikachu. Alright. So, Alright, I guess we can just go... I was hoping to see... Yeah, here we go. So first, let's talk about the free updates are the quarterly things. It's the season pass holders that get the monthly ones.
Okay.
So in September, Gator Rush will be launched. It'll include a new discipline called the Hovercraft, and you can go from there. And there'll be 5 new vehicles to the lineup that you can earn with the in-game currency and buy. There will be, on a monthly basis, new vehicles every month. I believe it's 2 or 3 new vehicles every month. Let me see. Those are that's pre-order bonuses. That's fine. That'll work. Where is it? Okay, so we got the Legendary Motors Pack, which comes with a touring car and a Harley Davidson bike, and a Motorsports Deluxe pack that came with an F-150 Raptor race truck and a monster truck and a aerobatics plane and outfits for our character. The Gold Edition also came with the Season Pass and got us the early access to the game. The other thing it gets us I thought it was going to spell out the season pass there, but apparently not. Season pass. I want to say it's 2 cars a month. Here. That one will have it. So one of the interesting things is we got 3 exclusive vehicles on day 1. But as they get ready to release these new cars, the season pass holders will get them 7 days early. I thought they specifically said...
So for...
I thought they specifically said which vehicles or how many vehicles we were getting. Oh, also, I should mention, Season Pass holders also get a discount on the price of vehicles in the in-game currency. So, whereas the Lambo I'm buying would have normally cost me, I think, 750,000 in-game credits that you earn from racing and whatnot, I think I was able to buy it for like $490 or something like that. So it's a pretty significant discount that you get on the vehicles inside. So these are the 3 vehicles you get day 1. You get the plane, the boat, and the Porsche. And then that's the early access ones. And then I thought they then said... God, I swear they said that you're going to get X number of vehicles.
You have to check your... You have to click on one of the platforms down below. You had to click on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC to see your Season Pass content, it said. Oh, apparently it's different.
All right.
Or your Gold Edition. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. Oh dear, the rabbits are in the interwebs.
Yeah, there's something there. Yeah, I swear.
But long story short, though, it for a more casual player or for someone who wants to play it but doesn't want to risk running out of things to do, December might be a better time for them to jump in because there'll have been 2 quarters worth of updates plus the PvP
the PvP
thing.
will be live. I don't disagree with that. That might be a better. Well, it really kind of depends, right? I think if you are a vapid consumer of digital content and play extensively, yes, I agree with that. You may want to wait to do so. If you're really a casual player, I think you will be fine. Can I get any of these to tell me? Oh yeah, there it is. So receive the season pass, regular updates of 2 new vehicles per month. Oh, they're free to all players. So those that bought the season pass, add them to their collection 7 days early. So what the hell am I getting for my season pass then?
It sounds like a discount and 2 outfits and the 3 vehicles you started the game with.
And it sounds like that also, yes. And the interesting thing is that they said that you can unlock all of the features, like, for example, the PvP lobbies and all that stuff, to ensure that the community is never split. All post-launch content can be earned with in-game currency. So that might be another reason that you might want to start playing now, is if you want to build up a pool of in-game currency. Because I'm not going to lie, like the vehicles across all the different disciplines, you're going to want to get the best in each one, and they're flipping expensive. Like, just the best hypercar car is like $1.4 million, and you earn 15,000 per race. So let that sink in for a minute. There's like, I don't know, 27 different disciplines, and you're going to be spending an average of probably like 600K to 1 million per vehicle. So that's going to be a lot of racing and money making that you're going to need to do. And then if these features cost in-game money as well. So like I said, this might be a good opportunity to start stockpiling money as you go. Now, I will say that as a gold season pass owner, they gave me high-end vehicles for most of the disciplines. So I have at least one vehicle that is above average in most of the disciplines. So that's going to help me stockpile money for things that I want to do later. Customizations, liveries, etc. So there's always something to spend money on, I guess is the best way to say that. Right. You might want to play and do that. But we'll see. Like I said, right now I feel it's about a 7.5. It'll probably be stronger later because of the way they're rolling out the content. So, yeah. So that's the crew too.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can just do it this way. Let's see what's on the old news feed. Ba-na-na-na-na-na news. Twitter.com/Gamersledge if you want to see our illustrious news feed that we use here on the show. Or Facebook.com/Gamersledge as well. Let's see. I am trying to... Oh, there it is. Not a ton of super important industry news this week, but one of the big ones is Bethesda is suing the makers of the Westworld mobile game, saying that it uses Fallout Shelter code, including bugs which have been documented that never saw the light of day because they fixed them before release, but they have the development version history that shows that they can recreate in Fallout Shelter the exact same bugs.
Because the developer of the Westworld app worked on
Fallout Shelter
too, right?
Right. As a contractor to develop certain portions of it, and then it looks like allegedly they took those assets and then made the Westworld game out of it. And Bethesda's like, So yeah, more developments as they occur, but I think it's going to be a massacre like the end of Westworld Season 1, only it's going to be this developer and their stuff. We've been streaming the crew a lot. You can find those on there as well, on the feed as well. PlayerUnknown Battleground dropped its lawsuit over Fortnite. Now, I will be the first to tell you that if anyone was going to try and sue for copy infringement, it would have been PlayerUnknown Battleground versus Fortnite. The issue here is that both parties involved have a stake in them by Tencent, which is China's one of their largest video game VC funds. And so I'm thinking that they just decided it was better not to sue themselves, so to speak. But there's no official word of why they dropped the lawsuit. But they did drop it and sent a letter to Epic saying we are not pursuing this any further. So that's kind of weird. I was actually looking forward to, because this would have been an actual landmark decision case where somebody tried to patent a genre. for all intents and purposes. So
yeah, I think they figured out that it was not going to be good for either of them. PUBG's already kind of, I don't want to say struggling because it's still got a gajillion players, but they're not where they want to be.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
they're in the news quite a bit in this feed. Actually, I think what's not in the feed that we should talk about for a second. So, you know the difference between Fortnite and PUBG, right? There's several, but I want to hear what your thought is on the main difference between the two.
The main difference between the two, okay, having never played PUBG, the two things that kind of set Fortnite apart are the construction and the speed of getting into a new game. At least that's my understanding.
Yeah, the speed's pretty much the same, but it's actually none of those things. Like, that's all ancillary. The biggest difference between the two is, why have you never played PUBG?
PC only.
Not just that.
Xbox. PC, Xbox.
Not just that.
It's not free.
That's right. You have to buy it. So it's
good point. Yeah.
So they've made a ton of money from people buying it. Don't get me wrong there, but the issue is that you pay for PlayerUnknown Battleground, and Fortnite is free. And what they did is they said, "Hey, we want to monetize all these players, and so we're going to introduce this Battle Pass system for $10 a month." That gets you costumes. They figured out
how to out Overwatch.
Correct. Well, this week, PlayerUnknown's Battleground dropped their new Battle Pass for $10 a month.
Yeah. And they didn't even change the name. It's the same name.
But the thing about it is that it is in a game that is not free.
Yeah.
So let's just say that the community response has not been good. And then worse, their implementation of it has not been good. In order to unlock, so you pay them $10 a month to play the game that you've already paid for. And this Battle Pass thing, like to unlock new outfits or whatever, you have to gain XP in the game. And you have to have played the game for a certain amount of time, like 5 minutes or longer. And there's a cap on the amount of XP that you can earn each month. So as you can imagine, this has been like not well received at all. No. So today they announced that they are raising the XP caps. Why are you putting a cap on XP for? Anyways, it's dumb, and I really have to question what the hell they're doing.
They did not plan for any stiff competition to arise.
No,
they really didn't.
They did not in any way, shape, or form.
And Fortnite, because it was in development for 17 years, was, able to throw this thing together because they got a toolkit from, beyond all toolkits. And
it's actually really crazy when you look at the history of this, because the Battle Royale was a lark, right? They added that as a temporary mode that was not supposed to stay. But when they figured out how to monetize it, and they're making over $500 million a month on it, you bet your bippy it's going to stay. And the weird part is the game that I wanted to play is now the afterthought. Which is the actual story mode. The actual story mode of Fortnite. That's what I wanted to play with friends, and that is now the afterthought, and all there is the Battle Royale mode. It's crazy.
Yes, kids, there actually is a game other than the Battle Royale mode in Fortnite.
Wait, did I mention Realm Royale?
Yeah, you did.
So Realm Royale is this weird other one that's fantasy based. I have been having
RPG-esque.
Yes, and I've been having a real hard time with it, to be honest. And so I got it in my head that I was going to map the controls to a PS4 controller. And I did it. Like, I mapped an entire game to a PS4 controller. I'm impressed with myself. The problem is that there is truth to the whole aiming with a keyboard and mouse is better than using a controller thing. And I can't get the hang of aiming with the controller. The only option I have is to turn the sensitivity of the mouse down in order to do a more controlled movement. But in doing so, I make myself slower to aim.
Right.
And this is really the first time, I think, ever that I have really appreciated the aim assist in most games for the PS4. Because if there was an aim assist, I would turn it on in a heartbeat in this game. But I am enjoying it. I've been playing the heck out of that too. I forgot to mention that. My bad. And there is no monetization in that game still. I can't believe I know it's early access, but for the number of people playing and streaming it, I cannot believe that they have a store option in the menu, but it's grayed out. And they have a battle pass option in the menu, but it's grayed out because they haven't launched it yet. And I'm like, guys, get with the program. This is pretty awesome. I enjoy it. Anyways, yeah, there's that. PlayStation Plus free games for July. Matt, what are they?
Oh, well, the PS4 games, as you can kind of see there from the logo, are Heavy Rain, which is interesting because, we obviously just had Detroit come out, and before that, last month's pack, or 2 months ago, included
Beyond Two Souls.
The one I haven't played yet, Beyond Two Souls, yeah. So that's another seriously great game. I played the living crud out of it back when it came out on PS3. I probably won't dive back into it, but yeah, it's a definitely a solid game. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very well crafted and enjoyed it a lot. And then Absolver, which I remember hearing a bunch about right when it was going to launch, and then kind of disappeared. Is a build your own fighter online melee fighting combat thing. And that's about as much as I can say because I don't really know much more than you build your own fighter, you build your own moveset, you build your own characteristics, and then you go online and you fight other people with them. Apparently there is some PvE in the game also, but I don't really know exactly what is involved with that. For the PS3, nothing is listed as... Well,
wait, yeah. I need to give my 2 cents on Heavy Rain.
Okay. If you're just going to say...
Jason!
You're going to... Yeah,
Jason! Jason! Jason!
Yeah, there's some questionable voice acting moments in that game, yes.
Wait, questionable moments? How about the entire voice acting? Especially since they're all French-Canadian and don't know how to pronounce words in English.
I don't know. I mean, I agree. The cop dude isn't bad.
Fine. The cop dude is fine, but every other character is like, there's some questionable dialect choices there. But yes, no, I love.
Let's just say they definitely stepped it up with Detroit. So
yeah.
There's still some elements, but PS3 again, none of these are listed as being cross-buy, but or cross. I guess it's still cross-buy, but they have been having that where they don't list it and they are anyway. So we'll see when it drops next week. But for PS3, there's Rayman 3 HD. And Deception 4, The Nightmare Princess, which I have not looked at all. So I don't know if that is some sort of RPG or if that is more of a visual novel or what it is. is Unleash Your Inner Nightmare Princess. Okay, it's an action game.
Hold on. I'm looking through my collection right now because I am... Oh, maybe it's digital. I'm not actually. Now you've got me internally curious. I'm actually going to put the
oh, this is the Traps one. Oh, yeah, okay.
I own this game. That's hilarious.
Okay,
for the PS4.
It's still $50. Wow.
Yeah, no, it's really people really love it. And it had a ton of DLC. Let me see here. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that I have it on the PS4. What's it called? Nightmare?
Deception 4, the Nightmare Princess.
Deception. God, I swear that I own this game. Here, let's do this. Search for Deception. Yeah. Oh, no, I have the demo. I could have sworn that I picked it up. Maybe I didn't.
And maybe it's on PS3, because the version we're getting is a PS3 version.
I'm so confused because I swear that I have this, but I don't see it. Oh, it does. Good radio, me searching for a game in my collection. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So apparently,
I'm pretty sure I had it because it's a jank box too. Like, it's not even like a good quality box. It's like, you know what I mean? There's certain games that are just do not have a good box, and I swear it's one of those. Why can't I find it?
While he does that, the Vita games are Space Overlords, which appears to be some sort of third-person action mech suit game, but the description here is not good, and the pictures on the PlayStation Store are not helping me. And then Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma, which is a puzzle-solving visual novel, Saw-esque, multiple ending game. No, I did not play Zero Time Dilemma. Zero Time Dilemma, I believe, is the latest of the games. I played No Escape? The second one. Whatever the second one was. I played the second one. This is the third or fourth one.
Aha! I'm not insane. Oh, wait.
Well, that's debatable, but
it's highly debatable. I just don't understand why it's not showing up in my library, because it's installed on my hard drive. This is weird, because proof right there. Deception 4. Nightmare Princess.
Yep. Right. Yep. That is it.
I got it. I think I got it at like some huge discount. Because I know it says it's $34 on the box, but I'm pretty sure I picked it up for like $15 with some trading credit or something. Because I had played the demo and I knew enough of it that it's actually really fun. It's a weird game. Like, I'm not sure what the motivations of the people are, other than to be sexy and kill people. That's pretty much it. So if that's what you're looking for, and maybe to be sadist, that's actually part of the game as well, because you're setting up people and monsters to hit these traps and just like murder them viciously. And it's like, how many traps can you get them to stumble into, Tom and Jerry style? And it's not like nice at all. So, but it's fun. I don't know, man. It's hard to explain. It's a Japanese game. What am I gonna do? Yeah.
It's one of those that we really just can't explain because we just don't have the cultural relevance.
Like I understand a lot of Japanese culture and even some of the weird stuff. I have no words for what this game is. Like this, is it a genre? I don't know. It's a thing. Somebody made a game, and it's decent, but it is one of those games that's holding its value. I think partially because it had a limited print run for the discs in the U.S.
Yeah, and so you're trying to revive the devil, and to do that you have to kill so many people, and to do that you set traps, and then so it's kind of inverse tower defense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, kind of. But it makes no sense. Why am I trying to revive the devil? That doesn't seem like a good thing. But it's what I'm doing because I'm sexy and cruel.
Yeah, based on her appearance, yeah, she's got problems. But, hey. All right, so there you go. There's your... you can still pick up Black Ops 3, or as Mark insists on calling it,
Matt.
Ops 3.
Bad Matt. What is it?
COD Blops 3.
Yes. COD Blops for the
which Mitchell actually enjoyed quite a bit when he's played of it. I haven't taken the time to try it. It's just and there is a sale for Plus members on 3 months of PlayStation Now access. If you wanted to try that out, it's $30 versus the $45 it normally would be. So if that's something you've been looking for a discount on, just to try it out and see if that's for you, that might be another thing you'd want to do this week. Or this month,
Matt.
rather, excuse me. Hey, Mark.
You know what I like?
Yo-dog jokes.
Well, that is also very true. But I also like the X-Men coming back to the Marvel fold in the cinematic universe.
Or at least one hurdle toward that has been cleared, at least.
That's right. Disney already got antitrust approval from the government to purchase most of Fox. The government said they need to not do Fox Sports or sell off a couple of the stations for sports, and Disney said, no prob, Bob. So more than likely in their July stockholder meeting, they will vote to go with the Disney counteroffer that was made that increases their assets considerably and make everybody at Fox richer even. So
and everybody at Marvel Studios incredibly happy.
Yes, I will be. So most people don't understand the scope of this if it happens. Number one, you get the X-Men back. And that's not just the X-Men, but that's every X-affiliated franchise and thing ever made. And there's a lot of them. But number two, it brings back the Fantastic Four. And although I am not a fan of the Fantastic Four, there is something very important attached to the Fantastic Four, and that is pretty much the entirety of the cosmic side of Marvel. Galactus, Silver Surfer, the Power Cosmic, all of those things are, which also means all of the Power Cosmic. That means all the other heralds like Airwalker and Sunfire, or no, not Sunfire, Starfire, Sun Lord. God, I don't know. I'm mixing them up now. But yeah.
Too many similar names.
Yeah. But the point is that there a lot of the cosmic side of things, including Annihilus, and Negative Zone. Oh, that is Annihilus. What am I saying? But Kang the Conqueror. All of that stuff is tied to Fantastic Four because of this Fox deal. We would get all of that back. So the only person who would still be out of pocket is Spider-Man. And Marvel and Sony have found a way to make that work in which Sony gets very, very rich and Marvel seems not to care. It's so good. We've got access to Spider-Man. That's fine. The House of M can be complete once again. I want this deal to go through so badly.
There are a few other stragglers. This doesn't include Blade. I don't think those rights have reverted yet.
It's been over 10 years since the last film, hasn't it?
Yeah, but I think the TV series is still within that window.
Oh, wow. Now I want to... I'm going to open a new tab here on screen so we can look all together. Blade TV series. Whoa!
Series! It's the series!
Tell me about your Blade TV series. So the Blade television series.
No, 2006 it ended. Oh no, that's one original release. There's only one season left. They had multiple seasons.
I thought it only got one.
Nope. Oh, 2006. All right, I'm wrong.
So I guess what we should really search is who owns the rights to Blade. Ghost Rider and Punisher rights have reverted to Marvel from Sony and Lionsgate, as well as reaffirming the acquisition of the Blade rights.
Okay. I was wrong.
Fantastic. Cool. So, yeah, I mean...
Unfortunately,
I was just going to say, I think Spider-Man and his universe are the only ones left affected by this.
Yeah. The only downside to the Sony deal seems to be that it only includes Spider-Man getting used by the MCU, and I'm kind of looking at Sony's what they're trying to do with the other Spider-Man characters and shaking my head because they don't really seem to be paying attention to what they should be learning from working with Marvel Studios. Can
I say that Venom looks like the biggest pile of crap that I've ever seen? Ever.
Well, I don't know. That new Predator trailer is pretty bad.
But that has the potential to at least be campy kitsch bad fun.
Yeah.
Whereas the Venom movie looks like it's trying too hard to be a serious,
It looks like it's trying to be Spawn.
Yeah, and I think the new Spawn's gonna kill it. But nothing about it doesn't. None of it makes sense.
I know. And now there's a rumor that there's going to be Jared Leto starring as Morbius.
Yeah.
And the Cindy Moon Silk movie. I'm like, Morbius maybe. Morbius isn't intrinsically requiring Spider-Man for his existence. Yeah, there's a tie in there, but it can be explained away. Almost of the other characters that they're trying to work with are so tied to Spider-Man as a character, and they're doing him completely separate from him. It's like, wow, okay, never mind. Just carry on. We'll see what happens. I just think this Sony Spider-Person verse universe that they're doing is going to turn into a worse pile than what DC's trying to fix.
It's Spider-Man. I don't care.
Shut your dirty whore mouth, as Dave would say.
I'm just teasing you.
Dave's not here to say it, so I gotta bring it up.
I'm just teasing you. I actually really like what they've done with the Tom Holland Spider-Man. But again, that's Marvel doing it, so not Fox.
Yeah.
Or not Sony. That's just Sony cashing a check. So, yeah. But anyways, we should know mid-July whether or not this is all going to happen. I hope it does. Oh, yeah. So speaking of Fortnite, we haven't covered Battle Royales enough in this. So it's still, to this day, is the case that if you have ever played Fortnite on a PS4, you cannot play it on Switch. Or vice versa. Between this podcast and the Xbox. Between this podcast and the last podcast, former CEO of Sony came out and said, "Oh yeah, that crossplay thing, we never did it because of money. We didn't want people to buy skins for free-to-play games on our consoles on other platforms and be able to use them on our platforms." It's a dumb reason and it should change, but there it is. It was basically money. So, yesterday, I want to say, Sean Layton was out doing a press tour for something, and I can't remember. I think there was a presentation at Game Lab about interactive storytelling, and Eurogamer asked Layden, basically, hey, you guys have this issue. It seems like you're not listening to the players, and you're not giving them the response that they're looking for. And how would you address that? And Layden said that he's confident that the company will come up with some sort of crossplay solution. They are hearing it, and they're looking at the possibilities. Now, he says you can imagine that the circumstances around crossplay affect a lot more than just one game, but we're confident we'll get to some place that the gaming community is going to accept. But what scares me is while at the same time supporting our business. When I read this, that means to me, and I will be happy to be wrong, but I am predicting right now, Matt, and I want it to be on the record, that episode, what is this, 289 of our podcast, I believe Sony is going to make you pay for crossplay access. You're going to have to pay some kind of surcharge to PlayStation Plus, whether it's $15 for the year or something like that. But the way I'm interpreting his answer, I think they're only going to support crossplay by charging you for it, which I think is a wholly stupid idea. But I think that's what...
I think I see... Well, there may be... There's a couple different things here, right? One, this could either mean that they'll support crossplay, but they're still not going to support cross third-party account managed things, right? So if they can find a way to allow you to use your account, but you don't get your cool cowboy hat that you bought on the Switch unless you pay for it again. You can play against people on the Switch, but you can't have your cool cowboy hat unless you pay for it again. Or this means, because I believe Fortnite, you don't need Plus to play, do you? So if you can play for free without Plus, and then you can only play against Sony people, but if you want to play crossplay on it, then you have to have Plus membership or something like that. I could see them going that direction with it too.
I don't know if it does or not.
Because I don't think it does.
Battle Royale does not require a PlayStation Plus subscription.
Which is funny because I think Fortnite's regular multiplayer does.
It does. It's hilarious. Yeah, that's interesting. So I bet what they will turn to do, what they might turn to do is say, hey, you can only play Fortnite if you have Plus.
Or play it cross-platform.
But, I kind of have to think that they've got some kind of idea of whether or not that is a real thing now. Because how many people do you think are actually playing Fortnite that don't have Plus? I can't think it's a lot. Because the numbers for Plus are good already anyways. And if that wouldn't encourage you to play online with other people, I don't know. Hi, Bacon Guy. Sony sucks, he says. In this particular case, I might possibly agree. This is like a holdout from their old regime in my mind, like their old ways of doing business. This is so weird that they are taking this.
I mean, I can honestly see it though. It's like all right, I don't have enough time to support multiple platforms, much less playing the same game on multiple platforms. I could see this being a short-sighted thing on there. Like, well, if they're already playing Fortnite on our thing, they're not going to go play it on another system because they're already on our environment, playing with the people they want to play with, doing what they want to do. Why would they ever go somewhere else? I'll be honest, I don't understand it. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be able to.
I do.
I don't understand.
You want to hear the real easy use case for this? I play Fortnite
no,
on my
because
PlayStation.
It's not applicable to me, and I don't want to.
Yes, it is.
Care about it.
It is though.
No,
because you play Fortnite on your PS4. It's time to go to bed. You take your Switch out of its dock. You go in to bed and you play a couple rounds of Fortnite. Oh wait, you can't. I could see.
Well, okay, I could. Yes, I'd have to have a second.
Because remember, most people don't own a Vita like we do, and the support for Vita is dead. So I can see the use case where people would go on multiple platforms to play something like this all the time. But because of the fact that it's inherently blocked right now, people are not doing that. And I would like I'm not going to lie. If I buy some kind of cool costume on the PS4, I'd love to play it on my Switch. Or vice versa. If I buy a costume, it's my Fortnite account. It's not my PS4 Fortnite account. It's my Fortnite account, period. Or my game account, my Rocket League account, period. No matter what. The developers are trying to do the exact same thing that Dragon's Crown did back in the day. Remember how we had Dragon's Crown on the PS3 and it was awesome, and then you could click one button and upload your save file to the cloud, and then you could download it on your Vita and go and play online with people on the PS4 on the Vita. It is the exact same thing. It was an easy way, because that was my Dragon Knight character, or my Dragon's Crown character, not my PS4 Dragon's Crown character, or not my Vita Dragon's Crown character. It was my Dragon's Crown character.
Other than no one should ever play games or watch TV in bed, because that's actually a horrible thing.
I don't do that, but you get the idea.
I know. I'm just putting that out there because that's one of my things actually. But I guess I get it moderately, and I get it as infatuated as some people are with their Switch, Dave. I get that that's a thing that they might want to do. Okay, yeah, I guess maybe it is more common, but I really want to believe that this is not actually as big of an issue as the noise about it is. And again, not saying that they shouldn't change or they shouldn't figure out a way to do it. The easy way to do it is say, okay, I don't sell stuff anymore. You have to go to Epic Store to buy all the fun little stuff, and then it's not a matter of you spent money here or you spent money there. You just spend money on Epic, and okay, fine. But then, of course, Sony has no reason to back it.
Yeah, Sony doesn't want that to happen because they want a cut of the sales of that stuff on their platform, and so yeah, it's and they're not going to allow. And again,
I'm a horrible use case for this, because I would never spend my money on this stupid hat. I would be playing with the default skin the entire time I played it, regardless of how good or not good I was at the game. I would be playing with the default skin the entire time, because that's a waste of money, in my opinion.
If they offered you the ability to buy a Gundam mecha suit for $1.99, you're telling me you would not ever?
Because I'd rather buy a Gundam song for that $1.99, or save that toward finally getting God of War or something.
Okay, but you're making the point right there, right? There are games that you do feel passionate about that you would spend DLC for. For these 700 million people, it's Fortnite. And so, what's the difference between one piece of DLC?
Well, I can't go buy an Xbox One and download my Rock Band DLC onto it. I don't have that expectation that would ever work.
But one's a licensed song versus a digital piece of clothing. right? So there's 1,000 intricate differences in those two pieces of specific DLC. But let's say that you bought a Rock Band T-shirt, okay, for 99 cents on the Xbox on the PlayStation. Would it be so highly irregular to have that appear on your Xbox character if you were ever to log on through an Xbox? I don't think that would be unreasonable.
I wouldn't expect it. I would be surprised if it worked. But again, I still think in terms of I can't put a Nintendo cartridge in a Sega system and expect the game to work either. So I come from an old school mentality.
What's that you told me today about GDPR? It's a brave new world, baby.
Yeah, I really do believe that this is a lot of noise versus actual impact. Whether that makes a difference or not, I don't know.
I'm actually impacted by this because I actually downloaded Fortnite to my Switch to play.
Yeah, but you were doing it more out of I wonder how this works, rather than a need to play Fortnite. And did your Fortnite enjoyment get killed because you had to open a second Epic account?
I can't play it on my Switch because my account is blocked.
But that's what I'm saying. The simple fix, if you'll allow me the air quotes, is you make another account and you play on that account. If you're good at Fortnite, it doesn't matter what your freaking skin looks like.
I don't want to create another account.
Well, then that's fine. There's lots of things I don't do because I don't wanna, but then I don't turn around all day long.
Oh boy. I think Bacon Guy likes my turn of phrase of digital piece of clothing. He's got a thinking emote going, digital piece of clothing. That's what they are. They're fake clothes that exist only in the internet. A series of tubes.
Mark tried to wear them to work one day, and that didn't go well.
No.
Although it is San Francisco, so it probably went better there than it would anywhere else. So.
Probably. But you paid for... Bacon Guy is clearly not on your side of this argument. He's like...
I don't expect anybody.
But you paid for the... Let me... The emphasis is mine here, but you paid for the, all caps, skin, therefore you should have the skin on all platforms, end caps.
You bought it off the PlayStation Store for a PlayStation version of a game.
I
if you bought it off of Epic's account, then I get it, But this whole idea all of a sudden that every day everything should work together. Yeah, I get it. Microsoft did it. I get it. It's not impossible, but it's something that Sony misread the tea leaves on, and I guess what I'm saying is I understand the misreading of the tea leaves. I'm not really advocating that they did it right. I'm just saying I understand it.
Well, I understand it too. They're using an antiquated network, and it's probably hard, and it's going to cost them money to change it to accommodate this. But I think the question that for me isn't about can they, it's about should they support it. And
I honestly don't know the answer to that. We're only talking about a small category of games right here, really. We're talking about free games that allow you to buy stuff. So we're talking a relatively small category of games that are truly impacted by this, because most people are not going to go buy multiple copies of a $60 game so that they can play it on whichever platform they suddenly have the feel the need to play on.
Mm-hmm. For now, I think this is actually an interesting turning point in video game history, because I believe once crossplay does happen across all devices, then we won't not have crossplay across all devices. Like, I think every game will be crossplay across all the devices once that switch has finally been thrown. But, yeah. Bacon Guy says, I bought that digital piece of clothing for my Fortnite account, not for my PlayStation account. So, I get both.
I bet if you read the terms of what you bought, you didn't actually buy what you thought you bought.
Yeah, probably. This is the part of the show where we thank our patrons for supporting us, because it's actually that time already. We had a lot to talk about tonight.
We rambled on.
So thank you to Regina, thank you to Justin, thank you to John, thank you to Bobby, thank you to Naomi, and thank you to we'll just add in Arturo, Pat, and Ian there as well. Then what's the point of making an Epic account? Bacon Guy asks.
I have no idea. I've actually never understood that kind of stuff. I never really understood, other than they want to collect data to mine. That I honestly really don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why I need to make a account for a third-party thing, an Ubisoft account, a account for every Flip Tarkin thing I ever need to install these days. Honestly, don't understand that. And maybe that is the point, but it's never worked up till now. So, and this has been a lot longer than just now that's been a thing. So I don't think that's the point.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I see both sides of the argument. I'm not sure we have any clear-cut answers right now. We just have a lot of questions more than anything. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm hoping my prediction is wrong, and that Sony does not try and charge for crossplay. Oh, that would be the worst thing that they could possibly do. Don't do it, Sony. No. That would put you so far back in the doghouse from PlayStation 3, $5.99, get a second job to pay for it days. Come on, don't do that. Oh.
And it's all a PR thing. I love it. You get slaughtered over PR.
All right, that's going to bring us then to final thoughts. Matt, final thoughts for this week.
I'm going to roll a d20 for initiative. Oh, I failed my check, so I guess I don't have any final thoughts.
You have no initiative.
I have no initiative whatsoever. I had something, actually. Now my goofing around, I forgot what it was. Jasco has released the previews for the Mortal Kombat UFS expansion. There is going to be another turbo box. It's going to be, as everyone knew it would be, Scorpion versus Sub-Zero.
No!
Yes. I don't play. I've got a bunch of cards sitting over there, and I don't play because I don't take the time to do it, and there's nobody around here that plays other than my kids and I. So I know, but we can't line schedules up because life sucks.
I know.
So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in UFS, or if you're interested in Mortal Kombat, even if you just want to collect the cards, there's some pretty awesome art out there on those cards. They do a pretty solid job with the card art. Looks like
20 for the turbo box?
I believe 20 or 25.
Okay.
Yeah, for the turbo box. And that comes out July 17th is the pre-release, I think, and then the 24th is the full release, if I remember correctly. So it's imminent.
My final thought for the week. Oh boy. I'd probably just be like, if you're thinking about if you have a PC and you're thinking about getting into VR, this is actually a good time for that. The Vive Pro came out, and it's like ridiculously expensive. Like the bundle for everything is like $1,200. Don't do that. Go find the original Vive. Places are selling it at huge discounts. I've seen it as low as $3.99 now. And that gives you everything. That gives you the 2 base stations for room scale sensing. It gives you the 2 wands, and the headset for $399. That's really, really good. That's less than half of what I paid when it was new. So I can't recommend that enough. Get VR. It's amazing. If you need suggestions, we should do that as a Patreon only thing. Matt, you and I should just go down the list of the top 20 games, so that when people subscribe to the Patreon channel, they'll get that as a video. We should do that sometime. So yeah, that's pretty much, I think, my final thought, because every time I'm like, could VR just be this thing that goes away? I go experience it again and again, and there's something new that just blows my mind, the same way the stuff did originally when I started playing with it. So yeah, that's probably my.
It's baby steps. It's
is.
not, you're not going to get something to blow your mind every week. It's definitely baby steps.
Well, on the Vive you have a greater chance of that, because a lot of VR games are free or 99 cents, which is not the case with PSVR. The minimum game is like $11 or whatever, because they're. But yeah, so that
they like money. Yeah.
Yeah. Are they murdering someone back there? What are they doing out there?
Oh, you can still. I got the dang door closed.
It's like they're screaming through the door. That's what it sounds like.
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Wow. Oh, I should have been muting then. No, there's. I don't know what they're doing. Mitchell's back. I definitely heard his voice, but yeah, I don't know what they're doing out there. Murdering each other or having tickle war or something. They're a little old for that, but I have no idea what's going on out there.
All right, so we'll end the show as we always do with a sage piece of advice to carry into the week until our next podcast. So Matt,
oh man,
Matt,
yeah.
When does a joke become a dad joke?
Whenever, I don't know.
When it becomes apparent.
Oh boy.
Until next week, thanks for watching and game on.
Game on.